colon cavity, we're going to see this hilus right here, where the ureter as well as the blood vessels come into the kidneys. Okay? If we look over here at this guy, you guys can see that surrounding the entire kidney we have this strong fibrous capsule. Okay? I've already split this open for you guys so you can see the inside of the kidneys. Alright? You see how the renal vein comes into the kidney, how the ureter comes into the kidney on this side. Alright? The renal artery is going to come in right through there. Looking at the open kidney right here, you guys can see that it has three major regions. We have the cortex right here on the outside. Alright? The renal medulla here in the middle. And then here in the tan, kind of on the inside of the medulla, which you guys are not responsible for, is a structure called the renal sinus. I didn't put it on the main. Do you remember us talking about how the renal artery right there starts to branch off before it even comes into the kidney to give us segmental arteries right there and right there? Okay? If we flip this over and look here on the inside, you guys can see where those arteries are going. Well, the segmental arteries are going to give rise to arteries called lobar arteries. Lobar arteries, you guys can't see on here without basically ripping the kidney apart. Okay? So,
those aren't on here, though?
Right,
Okay.
they're not on there because I can't test you
Right.
on those. Well, what's going to happen is those lobar arteries are going to branch out from one another and start running up in between each one of these medullary pyramids, these renal pyramids, okay? And when they do, they're going to be called interlobar arteries, okay? And that's what that little red guy is right there. You see it? Right there.
Inside of these yellow circles.
Yes. Yeah, but there may not be a yellow circle there.
Okay.
Okay? The interlobar arteries, are going to branch off to give rise to other arteries called arcuate arteries. These arcuate arteries basically wrap around each one of the renal pyramids. Okay, so here's a pyramid, and we have an arcuate artery wrapping around. We have branches coming off of the arcuate arteries right there called the interlobular arteries, and the interlobular arteries run up here into the cortex. Right, so that's what all these little red guys are right there. Now, the afferent arteriole, the glomerulus, the efferent arteriole are way too small for us to be able to see on here. Okay? But after that blood has been processed, it's going to be collected back down into interlobular veins right there, coalesce with one another to give rise to arcuate veins right there and right there, which coalesce with one another to give us interlobar veins right there or right there, which will eventually coalesce to lobar veins, okay, and then finally a renal vein, which you guys can see right here. Where my fingers are, that is the renal artery, but do you see how it branches off right there and right there? Do you see that? Right there and right there?
Yeah.
Okay, those are segmental arteries. About the urinary side, okay? You guys see these renal pyramids right here, or the medullary pyramids, some people call them, right through there. All right, you see those? Okay, that's where we're going to see urine being collected from the cortex, okay, right through here. And we'll talk about how that process happens in lecture. All right? But as urine is being collected and traveling through the renal pyramids, they will eventually run into the minor calyces right here, this first area in yellow. And what's going to happen to that urine from the minor calyces right there and right there, they'll coalesce with one another, okay, to create a major calyx right there, right there, right there. Urine that is collected in a major calyx will run into a renal pelvis, this flat structure right through there. And then eventually, what's going to happen is the urine collected in the renal pelvis will simply travel out the ureter.